Hi, everyone. This is Stefana Muller, your product manager for CA Service Virtualization. I wanted to thank you first for joining the call today. We have an exciting call, and it's actually a game that's safe for work. So there's no issues with playing this game at work. Huang Richter, who is a contractor for CA, is working on site at a customer in Europe right now. And Huang often does training for all of our customers. And he had some interesting challenges with explaining things like think time or modifying responses or signatures. And a lot of folks, we find, have that challenge initially when they are trying to learn the structure of a virtual service image. So the interesting thing that Huang did, he took the bull by the horns and he created a great new game that is kind of interesting and fun. So this call will have him demo the game to you all, and I'll be here to add commentary and so on. We also, just to kind of keep in mind for those of you willing and able to provide feedback and even contribute to this game, we have a bit.ly link out there right on the screen right now. Copy it down. Go out there and start communicating on the community about this game. We want to make this fun. As I mentioned, it's not completely an endorsed, training method by CA, but it is a fun way for your newer users on CA Service Virtualization to get used to some, get used to some of the topics around the tool. Okay, so without further ado, Huang, I'm going to pass off to you. You just need to unmute your line.
Hello, everyone, and hello, Stefana. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. So hello, everyone, and thank you, Stefana, for introducing me. So as Stefana already said, I've been promoting, teaching, and helping customers implement service virtualization for now several years. Started when ITCO was just bought by CA and doing this around the world. Now, my biggest challenge that I faced in the start was always to get this mind shift around service virtualization and why service virtualization is such a great tool and such a great concept to the client. Now, I had it easy because I've been a developer and then shifted to leading developers. So then I faced all these problems and then went to QA and then faced this problem even more. So it came naturally to me, but the clients don't, right? And when I'm teaching, I use a near-life example, make it very interactive, and that helps. And people understand it and it works. But the thing that disappoints me a little bit, and what came to the game is that when the students leave the training room, and they don't start training and doing a hands-on project directly afterwards, after 1 month, everything is gone. Right? And the concept is gone, and the teaching is gone. So last year, I wanted to find a way to improve that, to make that successful, not only for me, but for everyone that's out there helping in that concept. So the goal was to find a concept where the students can grab what service virtualization is all about in an easy way, not in an abstract way we always use it with wind tunnels and all that kind of stuff, and to do this mediocre task, creating one virtual service after another without feeling it being work. So as Stefan already said, we ended up with building a game that immersively teaches the concepts and lets them build virtual service on and on in a fun way. And let me show you what this is. So let me share my screen. Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
just taking a moment to load Huang on my side, so let's give it a second just in case anyone else is having that issue. Okay, now I see it. There is Lisa.
Okay, perfect. So, this is a little game, and as an insider for everyone who is looking and working in the community forum, Stefana put out a thread that says, where did Lisa go? And we just thought, okay, let's make it a fun way and say, Lisa is traveling around the world. And what she's doing, she's at the moment in a desert. And she has to try to she crashed her plane, and now she has to find, to go home, and she needs to,
A conferencing center. Enter your conference code, followed by the pound or hash sign. Thank you. Please wait for your conference to begin. Your line has been muted. To unmute your line, press *6 or #6, and you will hear a slight tone when unmuted. You will now be placed into conference. To mute your line, press *6.
Hi, everyone. It's Stefana again. Huang, are you back on?
Yeah. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you. I just
okay.
We had a little bit of an audio issue. Guys in the Q&A panel, if you could just quickly say that you can hear audio or not, that would be really helpful. Bob or Shankar, who's messaging us. Okay, great. We can hear again. Okay, let's keep going. Huang, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. This is what happens when we use a regular line.
Okay, perfect. So now this is Lisa, and what Lisa is at the moment is just a prototype. The goal is creating virtual services. So how does this work? Now Lisa is stranded, needs to find her way home, and she does this by going from level to level. So she always needs to go and find the next oasis. So in our game here, and I hope everyone can see this little guidance arrow here, she needs to go straight to the oasis. Every field she goes will send a REST message to the virtual service, and the virtual service will respond with an arrow where she needs to go. So let me show you that in a virtual service. So the first thing what the attendee will do is create a virtual service from request response pairs. I already did it. And for the desert, we thought, well, desert may be REST. Then we may have a jungle that could be SOAP. Then we could have an underwater scenario where we have MQ and all these kind of different things, like a temple, all of these little easy and funny things. So this is the message that this game will send to the server. So it will be a REST call with 3 different parameters: area, which is desert; field, which is plain; and item, which is none, right? And as you will see here, at the moment, this is saying she is going up, right? Now, let me take this and deploy that to my virtual service and start the game. What you will see is that Lisa will go up. This is not the solution, but just shows you how the game works. So if I play, you will see she will go up, and then she will suffocate because she's thirsty and she gets no water, and game over. So let's retry that. All right? So she needs to go to the right. So every field, which at the moment is plain desert, needs to get the response go right. So we'll change that. We go in here. Well, that's left. Okay, so now that's right. Let's save it and redeploy. Okay, it's deployed. Let's try it again. And she will go right, right, and there we go, level completed. So with that, the goal is the student understands, okay, what's a virtual service? Virtual service is a server simulation, right? Not an emulation, but a simulation, and I can do stuff with that. Now the next level would be, okay, student, now the same service will not work, because if she goes right, let's play it again, she will be trapped in, what's the sand called? Trap sand? I don't know the English word for it.
Quicksand.
And she will
quicksand. There she goes. She's going down in the quicksand.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Stefana. So she goes in the quicksand. Now, how do we fix that? And that's where the student comes on. Okay, he knows, okay, the same thing here. It's a plain desert. So if it needs a plain desert, I need to go to the oasis. How do I go to the oasis? I go up. So he goes in there, changes it. That is up. Deploys that. And then let's go up a couple of times, and it works, and she found her oasis. Well done. Next level. So the next level now has a little trick in here, right? Next level has another field. As you can see, we have all these plain fields, but there's a different field here. And if you can see that, that's a dune. If you click on it, it tells us its request format is still a desert, but now the field is dune, right? And there's no item. So what does this mean? Well, if you click the help button, we see that she needs to go right, up, and right. So there's always this puzzle, game in there, so that it doesn't become a mediocre task for them or a working task. It becomes something they have fun with, solving the puzzle. And now, how do I solve the puzzle here? I need to go up here, right? Now, for everyone who is experienced in service virtualization, that already know, we need to do another transaction that tells us, okay, if the parameter changes, then we send back a different response, right? So this is a way how to show the client what it means to have different testing scenarios, right? So what does it mean if scenario, if 1, what in scenario 2, why there are negative scenarios and so on, and they can play and see directly what this means. So I do that here. I just go in my virtual service, create another scenario, and in this time, in my request data, okay, that's not what I wanted to do. So I always have a little problems with WebEx and virtual machine. Doesn't like it.
We all have a little problem with WebEx, no worries. We all saw a delay on your screen a little bit earlier too. It just seems that there's a connection delay no matter what we do. We'll do the best we can to give this demo, and to be honest with you, I think people are getting the concept, and if you're not, everyone, you can ask questions in the bottom right of your screen. So use the Q&A panel on the bottom right to ask, questions about the next step, but as you can see, Huang is getting the character Lisa to move across the stream with the responses from the virtual service, which is the key point, and he's also adding individual specific responses as well, which is something that is a concept a lot of my newer customers have challenge understanding. Matter of fact, when I joined the team over a year ago, that was my first concept that I had to grasp. Okay, Kwong, you're back up. Go ahead.
Perfect. No, that sums it up perfectly. So thank you for that, right? So understanding what these different specific transactions are and that these are relied to specific scenarios you want to test, that's mostly, can spend days explaining and giving examples for it. And this makes it very nice because what we just did, or what I just did, is I created another scenario, another specific transaction. I changed the field name here to plain, from plain to dune, and told the system when you go, when you hit a dune, go up, right? And if you have a plain one, what we want to do is we want to go right. So as you can see, we have two different scenarios when the field is, and we make it even better, right? So that's what I mostly teach is we do it anything here. Why? Because that's what it's all about at the moment. At the moment, it's all about this field, right? If the field is plain, we go right. If the field is dune, we go up.
And guys, just to kind of stop Huang for 1 second, this is exactly explaining our matching criteria, right? The ability to match a request and provide a response. And he's doing it in such a way that makes it so simple to understand, right? Thank you, Huang. I just wanted to kind of call that out.
No, but you are completely right, so thank you for that, yes. So 100% right, and that's the whole goal. Understanding matching criteria, understanding why we do something, and all these kind of things. So if I deploy that now, you will see that I did it wrong. I didn't save and redeploy it. So let me deploy it again.
As you're doing this, just another note, and sorry for keep interrupting. I'm excited about the game. I think it's really good because it's also really responsive to every action you make, right? You'll remember to redeploy a virtual service when you make a significant change like what you're doing. You'll remember to, open up the virtual service and edit a specific when you make a mistake. So it's kind of cool when you're showing us this process, you're able to kind of go in and show what would happen if you didn't do it right. Thank you. Go ahead, Huang.
Yes, correctly. And Stefana, you can interrupt me as often as you like, because it's very true what you say. So I changed it. Let's see. Perfect. Now it goes right, goes up, right, and right. And there we go, right? So I know
wow, good thing she got there in time, huh?
Yeah, she got there in time. So this is the last level. Now, let's take a look at this level here, because that is really, really interesting. So we have a level here, and what will happen is, let me just make sure that this is correct. No. One second, guys. I just played around a little bit before, so that's why there is that. Okay, so what will happen now in here in this level if I redeploy it is she go, because we said, okay, we go right, right. What happened now? Okay, she will go up, right, right, but she's now, so we did everything right, but we're now suffocating. Why? Oh, this is another thing, how to make something that is hard to explain or harder to explain very easy. What I put in here is another field. As remember, she getting thirsty every step she goes, right? And there's a little well in here, and this little well allows her to drink. Now she needs to stay at that place to drink, because every 2 seconds will happen, her thirst will go lower because she's drinking. Now, what does this mean for us in service virtualization? Well, the thing I try to do here is make people understand, why do we use think time, right? In normal project, we use think time to simulate load on the backend system or on the simulated system, or we want to test for load and performance. What happens if system responds slower? Is my other system still performing in a performant way or not, right? But these are all abstract ways. Here it becomes very clear, right? I need to make my system wait with the response, otherwise my little character will suffocate. So I go into that, and now we have desert well, right? I again add another transaction and change that to the well, and tell the system now, let's say, make it 5 seconds, right? We want to wait 5 seconds, and then we go up. So let's find out what happens if I do something like that. I deploy it, and I play it again. She now goes right. She's now waiting 5 seconds. She's drinking. As you can see, the bar goes lower. She goes up, but not enough, right? So this is something where we can play around. Okay, what does this mean, and so on, right? So my think time was not high enough, and that's why she suffocated again. And we would like the player to find it out on their own, play around, right? So the real solution here would to make it 20 seconds. And if you make it 20 seconds, what will happen is that now, okay, and the game is a little bit bugged sometimes. So again, this is a prototype, sorry for that.
That's quite all right. So you moved it to 20 seconds because she needs to sit on the well a little longer and drink to make it to the oasis, right?
That is correct. That
okay.
is correct.
And just a question.
Right up. Now wait
okay,
20
so now
seconds.
She's waiting here.
Yeah. And as you can see, she's drinking, and the bar gets lower and lower.
Give her some time, Huang. She needs to drink.
Yeah. I did it the German way, push, push, push.
No, this is great. I think it's the concept of think time was, when you showed me this, I was excited because it was one way we could actually show people think time in a very simple way, right? And look, you won.
Yeah. Perfect, right? And this is just the beginning, right? So there's think time. There is multiple scenarios. So for example, right, if you have burning test data you can show, right? What it means that you can run multiple things again and again and again without burning your test data. Easy maintenance, right? All these kind of things you can show that in that game, all these concepts you can build up and make it really, really nice. And as you can see, as you saw, this is for REST, but you can make a level for REST, make a level for SOAP over HTTP, SOAP over MQ, or XML over MQ, TCP, whatever you like, whatever we like to build, we can build, and then people can play around and understand, and you can make more levels, difficult puzzles, and people try to solve it, and there learn more about service virtualization in a fun way, right? While they don't have a project or something.
So Huang, were you a game developer in the past, or did this game, the graphics and all that fun stuff just come to you overnight?
Yeah, it came overnight. So I just woke up in the morning. There was not. My brother is a game designer, and I'm building games and have fun with that with him in my spare time. And as you already know me, I always try to make the best out of training and get people understanding. And we tried to find a concept, and then it just came to us. But a lot of the game build was done by my brother, and he is an artist and game developer. So without him, I couldn't have done it.
This is great, and I really think the concepts hit home, especially with newer users. Not for nothing, I look at this and I think of ways to teach younger members of our developer community about service virtualization and about development and requests and responses. So I might even take this to a local school in their STEM program too. But in any case, one of the key points I wanted to make on this call for the attendees is that Huang did this on his own. It's really not it's not a certified course, of course, but we do want your feedback on it and see if there's anyone willing to help co-develop and work with Huang moving forward. We do have it out on the community today, a thread started, so you can kind of join in there and give comments or ask questions and so on. Are there any questions on the phone? So if you have a question, if you wouldn't mind *6 or #6 or #6 to unmute your line and ask Huang a question. And while we're waiting to see if anyone has any questions, you can rate today's webcast on the right of your screen. Yeah, so everyone, please rate. Very good. Like we said, we wanted to make this an informal discussion to give everyone an idea of some of the cool ways of learning service virtualization. Okay. So Tom's asking a question now, and the question is, just to make sure I'm getting this, the Lisa game is hitting the virtual service and getting different instructions on where to go. And yes, that's exactly it, right, Huang?
Yes. So the attendees will learn that service virtualization is all about simulating dependent system, and in this game does that exactly. So the game, for every field, sends a request to the virtual service and then gets the response and tries to, what's the English word, to understand what the response is, in our case, 4 different directions, and takes that response and then
and executes that, right?
Follows response.
Yeah, but follows the response that it receives from the virtual service. So I'm assuming the game has some understanding of what those responses are initially, right? It knows what responses it's going to receive, similar to a system under under having a dependency. It will be sending requests to another system, asking for a response, and it gets the response and it processes it.
Yes, that's correct, right? If something else, if you send it, for example, a text, then it would either fail or I'm not sure. I never tried it, but it will not work.
Okay. And then Srini asks us the question, why do you add information in the meta section below but not in the transaction section above? And I'm not exactly sure where he's showing, so maybe you can share your screen quickly one more time to see.
Okay. I don't understand the question either.
That's okay. Let's kind of look at the screen and see where you were editing. So on the right side of the screen, you were changing the response body. You were also at the top in the request data. If you click and expand request data,
okay.
It just takes a second. Your connection is really slow here. We'll blame it on your connection and not WebEx for a minute.
Because I can't see it either, so, okay, here. Yes, so what is here?
Yeah, I don't think we see it yet, Huang.
Okay.
So I guess let's go back to the person who asked the question. Oh, we got a few people who would love to co-develop. Srini, if you're still on the line, if you could unmute your line, if you #6 or #6, explain to us where you were asking the question. Okay. We'll wait for you there, and then I'll take a look at the other comments or questions. Tom is telling us there's a similar app called Turtle that teaches programming constructs, so we might be able to use that as well.
What's it called?
Yeah, Turtle, T-U-R-T-L-E.
Yeah, maybe I'll look it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Some other questions, not questions, but more comments coming in saying that they'd like to co-develop. So like we said, let's put our comments and questions and willingness to help out on that community site. Srini, if you can clarify your question, that would be great. If not, we'll just move over to the community site. Over on, am I showing the community screen? Mary, if you can just show the link again, the bit.ly link.
On a side note for all who want to help co-develop, the biggest help what you could do is try and find some new puzzles, so new levels. So maybe difficult ones, things where you have to think about a couple of times, especially always with keeping back in your head that this should either transform a concept or a specific item which is difficult to understand. So if you can, the biggest help is giving me or us different levels to implement it. That will be the greatest help.
Great. That's key, right? The ideas are more important than the coding in the end, right? Getting the understanding of what kind of levels. I liked your idea on MQ of an underwater board, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't see any other questions. Did anyone unmute their lines? If you're listening on the computer and can't unmute, I realize that might be the scenario. Just pose another question in the Q&A panel. Or chat in the chat area on the right side of your screen. Alternatively, you can go out to the community. The bit.ly link links you to the specific discussion that I posted yesterday. Again, reply here. Huang will be monitoring it and getting back to everyone or giving us some more insight into how the game develops over time.
Okay.
All right, Huang, anything else to add before we close out the call?
No, I'm happy that you guys love it so much, and everyone sees the potential which can help us teach and bring the concept further. So I'm really happy that
I think you planted a seed in a lot of folks' minds today, and when you showed this to me a month or so ago, I was excited because it just made sense from a new user perspective, right? So we're really excited to see where this goes. Again, no requirements, just lots of fun and co-developing amongst the team. So community members, like we said, go out to that bit.ly link, give your feedback, comments, or ideas out there for Huang, and we'll continue this discussion. Thank you so much, Huang, for taking the time and giving everyone this demo today. I would like to remind everyone that we have another webcast coming up on February 3rd. February 3rd at 11 a.m. Eastern. The American Family Insurance case study will be presented by Jeff DeMeyer. Jeff DeMeyer is an active community member and also a staff at American Family Insurance. Obviously, I care more about his activity in our community. But he's going to show us how to use service virtualization for building world-class training, which is kind of a cool scenario that I've found a lot of people want to hear more about. Again, this is part of our DevTest user community webcast series where we're bringing more of our customers and external consultants to talk about how they use our technology. All right. thanks again, Huang. Everyone on the phone, thanks for joining, and I really appreciate your time today. We'll have the recording posted shortly. Have a great day.
Bye.